Alright, we're back with some more Pokemans. A wild side has appeared, and let's keep going with the typage thing. Okay, so let me be clear about something. The typage system. Yeah, I've totally been oh man, I've totally been repeating. I think I did fire about twice by now. So at this point, I'm going to just hedge all bets, and I'm going to start making a checklist of every single one that I'm going through, okay? So I've already done a whole bunch. I'm going to keep track of those eventually, starting like right now, pretty much. I believe one that we haven't done already is ground. So I'm going to go ahead and start with that. Ground is probably one of the most useful types. I bet a lot of you thought I was going to say useless. But no, I find that it is very useful in like having an alternative to the rock type. To me, it's sort of that dynamic in Bionicle with the black Bionicle and the brown Bionicle, and how they're two distinct things, even though they're kind of not. It's very interesting that the way they work, because if I remember correctly, like the brown one was primarily like desert based, while the brown one was desert based. Wow, I just I could take that to a racial place, and being of somebody of my heritage, I could and say wag my finger, but I'm not gonna do that right now, because I think that it was just this. I think it was just easier to. It wasn't a racial thing. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. If it was, I haven't done any interviews about the racial perspective of the people who worked on Bionicle. But you never know. You never know these days where people's minds have gotten their inspiration from, unfortunately. But yeah, the black one was the one who mined for ore and all that, but the brown one was like, if I remember correctly, he was fairly like chill, very earnest. He didn't seem to do much in way of like hobbies outside of guarding Matanui. I can't believe I remembered the name Matanui. And so yeah, the fucking ground types I find are exceedingly useful, because they create this great dynamic that separates, well, first of all, like, ground is what became immune to electricity, while the rock types remain, on par damage. That wasn't how it started out, but that's what it resulted in. And you know what? That was a great change. I think it was a good change. I'm gonna say it doesn't make sense, because I think I've been over this before, in that it's nonsense that a flying type would be hurt by electricity, especially since, levitate and all that, because in order for something to feel shock, they have to be connected to the ground. You can't be that's one of the fundamentals of being shocked, is that there has to be a connector between you and the ground. Now, sometimes, in a very rare instance, something flying can get struck by lightning because they were in a spot for too long, or they have some kind of big metal attached to them. But to my knowledge, for the most part, flying doesn't usually get you hurt, and rarely ever. So yeah, that's been put in the ground for me. I shouldn't have hesitated when I recognized the pun. But let's talk about the types. Now, first of all, the Sandshrew, I don't care for the design. I love Sandslash's design. Like the hedgehog style look of it, and the fact that it doesn't look... It looks like a hedgehog, but it's menacing. Like those soulless eyes, and and of course, you've got the Alolan version that's, not a part of that. So I'm going to skip that for now, but I love the quills on it. I love the ultimate design of it. It's supposed to be a hedgehog, isn't it, more or less? That was my personal perspective of it. If not, then because according to Dexter, it's a mouse Pokemon, and they never really struck me as mice, honestly. Like, you know, shrew. It's a sand shrew. Hello. I mean, I think a shrew's a type of what's the scientific term for it? Marsupial? Are rats marsupials? What's a marsupial? Oh no, my mind is trailing. Come back, mind, you're going off the course. Nay, I say. Marsupials away. Marsupial. Okay, let's find out once and for all. What in God's name is a marsupial? Mammals is... Blah, 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 blah. Are rats marsupials? Here's... Okay, so there's some glider... Okay, there's a mice. There's a mouse. I think mice are marsupials. Please, God. Please don't make me look like a complete idiot. Rodent? Is a mouse a marsupial? Is it just called a I'll just ask Google. I give up. On this. Oh yeah, and Cheryl shows up to, you know, lend her support, and I'm just like, where are you for the rest of the game, you bitch? Come back here and be my tag team partner all the way. We can run double trouble. Is a mouse marsupial? Please. What? Okay, I guess there are marsupial mice, but they are not. But not all mice are marsupials. Okay, whatever. I was technically right. Am I wrong? I was technically right. I was half right. We'll settle for that one. So yeah, that was really the only case of a first-gen ground type, with at least as far as Soul. Wait, no, there's Dugtrio. Shit. There's Nidoking. Golem was a rock type before. A Cubone. I think Rhyhorn was also a fundamental rock type. But yeah. Well, for all intents and purposes. Okay, no, that wasn't even right to begin with. I'm not gonna try to save that one no more. Oh, and by the way, we finally have little acorns on our team finally. So hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Gligar. I never understood why Gligar was ground. If I had to look at him, he'd be a poison. He'd be poison flying. Why isn't he poison flying? Is it because there's too many poison flying? Because for whatever reason, Japan really likes bats. Actually, I don't know if Japan really likes bats. Like, the only bats that I've seen of significance in Japanese culture are, with the exception of Ninja Batman, Castlevania and Pokemon. So, you know, maybe it's just a thing that, like, that Igarashi and whatever the fuck the Pokemon designer's name is just loves bats. And you know, I don't blame him. Bats are neat. I love fruit bats. Fruit bats are adorable. And, you know, I wish I could have one. Any other type of bat, stay out of my fucking face, because y'all are freaky. But the fruit bat looks all kinds of cute. It is just a flying dog. What else wrong what wrong could it be? It's a flying dog. That's a vegetarian, man. You can't hate on that. It's cute. It eats grapes. Have you ever seen a fucking fruit bat eat a grape? It is the sweetest thing, because his mouth gets all big like it's a chipmunk, and it just got the big eyes. Like, and it's like, this is delicious. You can just see it expressing its gratitude just by eating it. I'm gonna look at that video again, just because I just find it really sweet. Because it's like wide angle and they get all up in its face, and it's just like, I love this grape. I love living. It was really sweet. But Anyway, ground types are exceedingly useful. Like, I love Steelix, you know. Steelix is Johnny's favorite Pokemon. And I like Mega Steelix. Mega Steelix is so cool because he's got an orbit! Swinub and Piloswine. Swinub was actually my first Gen 2 Pokemon card, come to think of it. There was that one and Snubble, not Snubble, Gramble. Swinub, I mean, of course, you know, Mamoswine will show up a bit later. So Mamoswine is close to being one of my mains. Ice, Ground, as long as you, like, try to avoid the fighting types, I believe it's pretty much one of the best mixes as far as type dynamics are concerned. Fanfi and Donphan. Donphan is one of my favorite mons. Oh my god, I love him. He's like this little elephant that turns into a tire. Yo! Oh, and Donatello evolved, I guess. Woo. Oh no, I'm not showing off how jaded I am at all, am I? Of course, there's the Larvitar tree, which, you know, they're pretty good. Like, what? He loses his ground type when he turns into Tyranitar? That's it, right? Not Tyrantrum? Yeah, no, Tyranitar. Man, I just realized they just had 2 Pokemon puns with Tyrant in the name. And yeah, I know, me, fucking Tyrantrum is supposed to be based off of the T-Rex, which is based off of the term Tyrant, like it's Carnivorous Tyrant. And no, it's Carnivorous Tyrant King. And so yeah, it's a double pun, I guess you could say. You can give them the benefit of the doubt for using the Tyrant pun twice. And of course, you've got Nincada that evolves into Pokemon that don't have ground types. Who doesn't like the gosh dang Mudkip family, huh? If you say you are, you're lying. You're a big fucking liar. Even though when I was a kid, even though when I was younger and it first came out, and I think I mentioned this before, but tell me if I'm crazy. Am I the only one who thought Swampert had, like, extended Jar Jar Binks' eyes? Like, it looked like the sprite did that in Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. Maybe not in Emerald, but certainly in those two. I don't know. Maybe I am crazy. Crazy in love with you. Camerupt. Camerupt is underrated. I think that it's ridiculous that he's really plump, really chubby. But that's okay. Like I said, Ground is a terrific pairing. I haven't said that before. I don't know why I said like I said. But ground type is exceedingly useful because of the immunities to electric types, to the lackluster effects from ice types. Like, the only thing that you stand to be vulnerable is to grass, I think. I don't think bug types are super effective against ground. I'll have to look into that. But yeah, fire ground's a great combination. Dragon ground is good. Fucking okay. Water type is good because once again, electricity. And now you've got something to offset that. You've got something like, I'm looking at Whiscash right now. I've never been a big fan of Whiscash. In fact, I keep forgetting Whiscash exists because I don't know. I'm accustomed to seeing Barbaroach because for whatever reason I associate Barbaroach with Mantine, even though you know that's a Remoraid under its fin. Either way, let me check here. The Claydol family, very creepy. I like it a lot. Groudon, I prefer Kyogre, but Groudon's a good one. It made me very iffy, made me very curious. That's why, like, you know, that was... Oh, I love the look of Groudon, man. Groudon's the coolest. like, when I saw that, you know, in Pokemon Sapphire, which, like I said, is the first one I played, and I had to be sided with Team Magna, I was like, is this the hill we want to die on? At least I think that was the case, wasn't it? You're put on this team of the opposite of the thing? No? I can't remember. Yeah, so we're coming close to the end of this episode. Ground type, terrific pairing. I love Earthquake. I love Magnitude. I love not Prismatic Spray. That's a spell in D&D. I love Mud Slap. Mud Slap's a good early move if you get it. Anyway, see ya. Stay wild.
Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Nobody knows my sorrow.